The signs in the get to know you phase, what are they? Well, let me go through my phone, right? I got some bullet points here, so sorry if I'm gonna be checking my phone here, but it's just some bullet points. We're gonna expand on each of them. So let me go through them. Promiscuity. We're gonna get into details of every single one of these bullet points, right? Some of them are not gonna be that clear. Feelings of confusion in you, feeling confused, all right? Always trying to understand things, but never seeming like, even hundreds of conversations with this person always end up with more, you end up with more confusion, all right? 2A, jealousy and triangulation. This feeds into confusion. 2B, again, when I say 2B, 2C, number 2 is confusion. All the stuff leads into more and more confusion. And confusion makes you more and more attached to the person, because your mind will try to stay in the situation, to solve it, to figure it out, to fix it. You think that there's something to fix. You're in it together. But this confusion is one of the biggest signs that you are dealing with a narcissist or a psychopath. Okay. And as a guy, not just as a nice guy or a good guy or an anxious person, as a guy in general, your brain is literally designed to break things down, solve them, and find a solution and fix something. Okay, but this confusion is gonna get you trapped into fixing something that is literally unfixable. It's like trying to understand the universe on a Saturday night. Okay, like literally. 2B, lying. 2C, she doesn't get rid of her ex's gifts. Gifts from exes, from other guys, hanging around the fucking house. Okay? And stuff, all kinds of stuff. I don't know, sex, lingerie stuff from previous guys. You're gonna see in her wardrobe one day when she opens the fucking thing, and you just see all this fucking sex clothes, and you're like, where the F did all this stuff come from? Some guys are like so happy. Oh, damn, she's gonna be wearing all this shit for me. Bro, where the F did all this shit come from? All these sex clothes, lingerie, or whatever the fuck you call them, okay? Where did all that stuff come from? All this fucking high heels and all this shit. You gotta ask. 2D, still has contact with exes. This is obvious, right? Multiple exes, one ex. This can be maybe okay if it's like kids are involved or something like that, and you're okay with it. You gotta be okay with it. Personally, I've been burned a couple times with narcissists and psychopaths. I wouldn't really like contact with exes, male friends, all this shit. I already got cheated on a couple times. It's enough, you know. It's enough for me. I'm okay. I'm done with that, you know. But for you, maybe you haven't gone through the same kind of experiences. As you can see, I'm open-minded enough to tell you that you do you. But it is a very big red flag, especially in today's day and age. Cheating, people are cheating on each other left and right. I'm not just saying it's a woman thing. Guys can also be psychopaths and narcissists and crazy MFers, but this video is for men, all right? Yeah, all of this feeds into more confusion, okay? She has contact with exes and you're trying to figure it out, stuff like that. Okay, let me go through everything, right? Boundary breaking. She promises something. A few weeks down the line, she talks as if or acts as if you didn't have any agreements at all. She like her brain is effed up to the point where it seems like consciously or unconsciously and or both, this woman is unable to track mentally. She doesn't have the mentalization, the theory of mind skills to track what makes you happy, or to track what's outside of herself, which is the agreements that keep the relationship intact. Boundary breaking, yeah? Number 4 is does not seem to care about your happiness. You give gifts, you remember her favorite food, her favorite dishes, you take her out here and there, but when it comes to you, She's always self-absorbed in her own depression, in her own mood swings, always worried and always focused on the little arguments that you had. And she doesn't dress up for you in bed, for example. She doesn't seem to... Yeah, you get a gift or something small, or you get your favorite dish cooked at, like, once every 6 months, once every 3 months, you get something, you know. So this is more like some of the signs, of course, you could catch in the get to know you phase. But if you happen to miss the signs in the get to know you phase, well, you got all this other stuff: boundary breakings, confusion. And number 5 is superficial. She's transactional and superficial. She seems to be excited and made to feel pleasure and extreme happiness, mostly with physical things. Okay. Some women have preferences. That's totally fine. Okay. Some girls like tall. Some girls like need a guy who's like around her height. Stuff like that. But psychopaths and narcissists, because they lack the emotionality, the capacity to attach emotionally, they don't draw pleasure from intimacy. Okay. For example, me, sex, the body is important, but it doesn't have to be so... You don't have to look like a super effing model for me to like settle down and want to have like a long-term relationship. Okay, I got my preferences, but they're flexible enough. Okay, they're flexible enough. And these are the kind of girls who would settle down with a nice guy for the family and the 2.5 kids, and they still have all these extreme crazy fantasies about guys. The guy needs to look... She's never 100% satisfied. That's the thing. In bed or in general, with your looks and all that. Which explains down the line like the criticisms and the degrading comments and stuff like that. But she would settle down with you. And then, even though you're a very attractive guy, this is the crazy thing, right? You're an attractive guy, but they never seem to be satisfied, or they see you as... You're always confused about whether this person really likes you or not, especially physically. And it's not your fault. They would usually have like a guy they settle down with, and then they F the guys that... I'm not going to say the guys that are the most attractive, but the guys that she deems as the most attractive in her eyes. Even if she settled down with the guy who looks like a Greek god, I don't know, tall, muscles, whatever, a guy who got everything 10 out of 10 in looks, this person will eventually want some variety. So that's the devaluation phase. It doesn't matter how good looking you are. She's at some point gonna degrade you and devalue you. And let me tell you something, guys. A normal, healthy person, a normal woman, okay? And I know there's a lot of crazies out there, but when I say normal woman, some guys are like, bro, where the F am I gonna find this biatch? You gotta heal, okay? You gotta heal, fix your boundaries and all that. You'll be able to... Your job is to not get into a crazy fucking relationships and wait so that you can not waste your effing time and just learn how to be alone. Okay, learn how to not have sex. Stop using these stupid fucking apps, for example. If you're always checking the app, who's texting me, yeah, you got anxious attachment. Okay, you can't be alone, you can't be without sex. And that's what gets you stuck and trapped in these relationships, because as soon as you meet a girl that you like, who's attractive enough, you wife her up immediately, and then you're stuck. There are healthy, normal, to some extent, normal women out there. To some extent. The last one is when you ask whether some or all of her friends have cheated on their husbands and boyfriends, there's a hesitant pause before the answer. Or she answers quickly, while avoiding direct eye contact. Don't focus too much on the body. This is just some signs, some superficial signs. Generally, it's the feeling that you have in your body. There's some kind of a pause there, or some kind of an energy in her body that makes you feel like, oh, she's avoiding answering directly. So let's talk about this in detail, okay? Promiscuity, number one. The biggest sign, biggest of all the biggest, okay? She wants to F without protection. Especially in the first few times you meet. She will either directly ask for it or indirectly ask for it. How effed up do you need to be to risk a long-term chronic disease just for a few seconds of fucking pleasure? How much of a big sign you need when it comes to whether this motherfucker is gonna cheat on you or not? Other than her asking to F without a condom. Her asking to risk her body, her health, just for a few seconds of pleasure. If she's risking her body, do you think she's gonna hesitate to risk your trust or the relationship or the loyalty or any of that? 2 + 2, yeah? Come on. Promiscuity also can come in terms of like, the way she dresses, but it's not always a sign, okay? But the way she dresses, and you link it up with other things like 2 + 2, man, you know? You connect the way she's dressed with other things. Or, for example, she tells you, I never dress like a HOE, or 304 if you will. Some day of the week, she opens up her wardrobe or garderobe, whatever you want to call it, and you notice all kinds of slutty fucking clothes. Maybe you never talk about it, and she's dressed kind of like a demure lady. She's dressed conservatively, but one day you just see something on her bed, like laying down, okay? In the get to know you phase. And maybe she wears that, but not when you are there. She doesn't want you to see that because you're the guy that she wants to settle down with. She's creating a fantasy, okay? Promiscuity also can come in terms of like, in the get to know you phase, she's meeting more than one guy. How do you know? Well, you could tell, yeah? You could tell. You could tell. She's busy on some weeks. She meets you once every 1 or 2 weeks. You know that a girl has another guy or two if she's meeting you once a month. Hey, you want to meet? How about tonight? Oh, today this week I'm busy. Oh, this week is not good. If you're getting to know each other, moving towards a relationship, and there's all this week is not good or that week is not good. Yeah, you're the guy. Some girls can do 2-3 guys in a week, but it's to be honest, it's not the majority of women. Okay, most women, even the craziest ones I've met, they meet just one guy at a time. Okay, they can't just juggle guys left and right. They just it's difficult for women. It's not like a guy. All right, so there's that. What else? So that's promiscuity. That's sign number 1, right? Number 2 is feeling confused. Okay guys, so I had to cut this video short right here because it was getting super long. I was talking for like an hour almost. The second part of this video, we're gonna be talking about the confusion. Why confusion in the get to know you phase? And when she's throwing all these puzzles at you, like this guy at work that she hates so fucking much, but she's always talking about, confabulating, lying, saying one thing and then doing another thing, and then just... Or being very loving one day and then the next day she's lying, the next day she's trying to leave. And I have never found any video talking about confusion and how it gets you very attached very quickly. And tune in for next week's video. If you're looking for a coach, okay, dating coach, you want to learn how to meet women and fix all of your inner game triggers. Fear of going for the kiss, fear of approaching in front of people, fear of showing up on the date, fear of asking a girl home, shame, sexual shame, any kind of problem you have with dating or in the bedroom or anywhere with women, I can help you fix. All right. And we focus more in social presence. In my social presence coaching program, we focus on trauma, healing. We focus on releasing blockages and limiting beliefs. And that's the foundation for success in today's dating. All my links are down below in the description below. And yeah, you could book a call. There's the calendar below and my website. See you in the next video.